Hey there, welcome back to TUF Coffee Shop Talk. I'm your host, Rhonda Lavoie, and you're tuned in to another episode of TUF Tech Tips. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And if you're enjoying these tips, I'd truly appreciate it if you could click that 5th star and leave a quick rating. Now, not only does this make my day, but it also helps other agents discover this podcast so I can help more people transform their businesses. Now, let's jump in. Have you ever sat down with your paper planner only to realize you left it at home? Or worse, discover you can't find that game-changing note from last week's meeting? What if your to-dos, schedules, and big ideas could follow you seamlessly from your desk to your phone to your tablet? Always at your fingertips, no matter where you are. And how might your productivity change if organizing, updating, and searching your notes became as simple as a tap or a swipe? In today's episode, I'm going to share how switching to a digital planner completely transformed my daily life and show you what's possible when you make the leap from paper to pixels. Whether you're a diehard paper journal fan or just curious about new ways to stay organized, this episode will open your eyes to the flexibility and convenience a digital journal can bring. So let's get started. So late last year, I was searching for my next journal. You see, up until that point, I'd always used just a paper journal, which was really kind of like a notebook. It just had lined paper in it, no calendar or anything like that. And I used it to journal every day, just my thoughts and ideas, and I would use it at client appointments. It really was just everything. And I was wanting to kind of improve upon what I was using my journal for. I wanted to have kind of more format to it so that I would have kind of prompts every day of things that I wanted to journal about. So I started looking for a new journal. And of course, I started looking for a paper journal because that's what I was using. And I really enjoy the act of writing. That really fulfills me when I'm journaling, is that actually write. So that's why I was gravitating to a paper journal. But I had just purchased my Samsung Galaxy S6 tablet, which has a stylus with it. And I was really enjoying the ability to write on this tablet device. So I decided to expand my search into digital journals to see, what options were there. Maybe it was a little bit more customizable and maybe I could get more out of it than I was going to get out of a paper journal. So I found a website that actually created customizable, downloadable journal templates. And I found one that I liked and I purchased the subscription and I downloaded it and kind of got to work. And what was really cool about it is it's just like a journal. So it opens up like a paper. You change the page just like you would in a notebook. And it has everything you would have in like a planner, a day timer. So it has the calendar by year, by month, by week. And you each day can have different sets of information. So after kind of massaging it, if you will, I came up with what works best for me. So every day I have 2 pages in my planner. The first page has areas for, what am I excited about today? What am I grateful for today? What is my mood? What's the weather today? Because I feel like those 2 things kind of go together. There's a notes section. And then I've actually just modified it so that I have kind of a new client section, which is kind of it's a gratitude section. So each day, at the end of the day, I write any new clients that I got. I write that in there. And I actually just started that in the last week, interestingly enough. But anyway, so the first page of the daily planner has that basic information. And then the next page of that daily planner is just blank space. It's got lines on it so I can journal. And what I can do is I can duplicate that page. So say I need to, journal multiple pages. Sometimes I have lots to say. So I can just duplicate that page and I can journal as many days as I want. And what's cool about the digital journal is I can go look at, say, the month view, and I can click on that day of the month. So say right now, today when I'm doing this, it is April 29th. So if I went to the month view of April, I could click on 29 and it's going to take me directly to that day so that I can see what I journaled about. There's also lots of other really cool things that are in this journal that can be used. So you can have what's called a reading journal, which is another one that I have. So it's all, to me, it's almost like two different journals, but it's all within my tablet. I have a reading journal that has all of the books that I have read or want to read. And then inside there, you can put notes about that book. So, say the book I'm reading right now is called The Bold Ones, and I can give it a star rating. I can click into it and see, make some notes about some of the things that I learned from it, that I liked, that I didn't like. I can say if I want to read it again, etc. You can also have a travel journal. This is another fun one that I found in this digital piece. So it's like a travel planner almost. And I've created I've taken our family bucket list book, because our bucket list book pretty much is all about travel. And I've put in here all of the destinations that we would like to go to. And it helps me dream a little, which who doesn't like to dream? And it also can help you plan it. So there's pages in behind each of those things so that you can have, what are the things that you want to do on that itinerary? Are there actual places that you want to go? And you can actually make notes of what those things are. What do you need to do ahead of time? What kind of flight information? So if you actually get into the planning, it's like, what's your departure time? What's your arrival time? What's the car rental information? What hotel are you staying at? What activities are you doing? Your return flight. What some of the key contacts that you need to have when you're there, or for people for when you're away. Are there any cultural things you need to know, like language differences and things like that? And then, of course, you can have a packing list and budgeting, and then a whole notes page, just in this travel journal. So I guess one of the things that I can tell you is that going from a paper journal to a digital journal has just opened my eyes to journaling. So now I don't have to have multiple journals if I want to capture all this information. It's literally all just in my tablet, and I can take it with me wherever I go and access that information. And the cool part is I can copy and paste pictures and put them in there without actually having to clip them out of a paper and gluing them into my journal. So for instance, the books, I put an image of what that book is right in the journal. So like a cover of that book. So when I'm in my reading journal, I can spot the books based on their cover really easily. And in the travel journal, I can put, an image of what that destination is. For example, we want to go to Europe. So I have a picture of Big Ben in London, and then the Colosseum and the Neuschwanstein's Castle in Germany and the Louvre in Paris, all in my journal so that it can inspire me and remind me of all the great things that I want to do within there. But in this journaling, there's just so much more that you can do with it. And I guess really it's just opened up more possibilities for me. So my goal was to, expand what it is that I was journaling and how I was using my planner. And it absolutely knocked it out of the park on allowing me to do that. But even better, the bigger piece to it is I no longer have to walk around with my journal with me everywhere I go. Now, of course, I do need to have some sort of device with me, not necessarily my tablet. So what I mean is it actually works across devices. So I can access my journal on my tablet, of course, but I can also access it on my phone or on my computer. And it just gives me the flexibility to have access to all that information without having to worry about bringing something with me. Because, of course, if I really need it, I can get it on my phone, and I almost always have my phone with me. But if I want to do something different that requires my monitor and my keyboard and my mouse, I can also access it that way. So, for instance, when I built I'm doing my book journal, I use it on my desktop because it's easy for me to go grab images and bring them over to the book journal. When I'm doing the travel itinerary stuff, same thing. It's easier to do it on my desktop, but I can, dream about it on my tablet or on my phone, or when we do travel, all that information will be accessible on my phone or my tablet, whatever I have with me. I don't have to have my laptop with me. The other really cool part is I can search within the device, and I can easily convert written word to text. That's another thing that I can do. So say you don't like your handwriting, but you like the act of writing. You can write it out in the tablet, and then with a click of the button, you can convert it to text that has been typed so that it's easy to read. It really does create that flexibility. So truly the thing that actually makes this work so well is using, for me, what I'm using is Samsung Notes on the Samsung device. So that digital planner that I purchased, it's kind of a PDF file, honestly, is really what it is. And you import it into Samsung Notes, and that allows me to access it across devices because Samsung Notes is saved in the cloud, and then you access it from these multiple devices. And it works really well because Samsung Notes it's a note taker, right? So it allows me to do that writing very easily and to be able to create multiple files and stay organized in that. I've even gone so far as I have a folder in there for clients, and I just create it with the client's name so that if I'm out on a listing call or I'm out with buyers or whatever it might be, I can just have their file and create notes for it. And I can export that as a PDF and upload it into my XP system if I want to. I can save it as a doc and be able to send it later. I can attach it to an email. I can do just all of these things. So at this point, I'm almost 100%, I would say at least 95% paperless when it comes to my life and my business. I do have a little bit of paper still because I believe that clients prefer to have something to take with them instead of just filling up their inbox. So there are certainly certain instances where I will print things because I believe that it's in the client's best interest. But ultimately, I am pretty much paperless when it comes to paper I need to keep, information I need to keep. And the digital journal really was the last piece of the puzzle to make that happen. Now, if you're thinking about, making the switch to a digital journal, there are other options besides Samsung to do this. There's some very fancy writers out there that you can look into. But this is the one that I chose because, one, it was super affordable. I actually used points to be able to get the tablet, but I think they're about $300 or $400 at the most, and they come with the stylus, and it really is kind of a nice writing experience. And then the journal itself, I think it cost me, $75, I think, to be able to do the full download. It allows me to download any type of journal that they have, including printed ones. I could even print from there if I wanted to. And the combo of those two things really have allowed me to just go one step ahead when it comes to journaling. And I will mention on that downloadable, I actually was able to get 2 years of journaling. So I had the end of 2024 journaling in my tablet, and then I have all of 2025, and I will be able to get 2026 as well, all for that $75 subscription. So really that cost was way cheaper than paper journals. So that concludes the TUF Tech tip for today. If you're looking to go even more paperless and into a digital journal, this was certainly helpful, I hope. But yeah, that concludes the episode. Thanks for being here. It really does mean a lot. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, as I'd love it if you came back week to week. If you are looking for more information on my membership, you can check it out at tufinstitute.com, tufinstitute.com. And if you're looking for more on me and my real estate company, you can find that at rhondalavoie.exprealty.com. Looking for me on socials, I'm on Instagram, rhondalavoie_TUF, and on Facebook, just as my name. Reach out anytime. I'd love to hear from you. I hope you have a marvelous day, and I can't wait to bring you another episode.